monthly bearish fair value gap. And obviously, if this gets respected, we have no idea whether it will or whether it won't. If it does, we would like to see it continue down to monthly sell side liquidity, right? That matches. Why this monthly sell side liquidity? Because we're coming out of a monthly video, right? Cool. Let's go down to the weekly. Now we see for the weekly, it's a perfect use of candle signs. First thing I want to touch on is that from a price action standpoint, we don't have anything. The only arguments you could make or the only observations you can make at this point in time are this weekly bearish for value gap getting disrespected and this one getting disrespected as well. I know it's small. Um, Try not to hurt yourself, on these higher time frames. Like trying to dissect price is really the higher time frame you're on, the simpler it should be to read price. So all we know, we know all we're aiming for is maybe our previous week's low, maybe our previous week's high, because we don't have any reason to take either one. Actually, look into that before I feed you that information. So we actually could, right? From a monthly AMD perspective, which you don't have to worry about this, but I just know it. So this is the first week of March, Q1. Obviously, the next week is Q2. So what we see in Q2, manipulation. So we would expect either side of the previous week to get taken out. Cool. So all I've gotten from the monthly is that monthly fair value gap. All I've gotten from the weekly is maybe previous months, so previous week's low. Sorry. Now we come down to the daily. We're going to analyze my price action first. So I see that daily bearish fair value gap could continue to push us lower down into that previous week's low. Cool. And then I'm going to take a look at my AMD now, right? Sorry, this is what I was back to the weekly. This is what I mean when I say proximity as like something that I look for with final bias. Is you see how close we are, previous week's low, versus this candle would be right here. I have no idea what side we're going to take out. So this is that proximity, I want us to be within near, close proximity. So onto the daily time frame, we look at our price action, and then we look at our candle signs / our weekly AMD. And then from the daily, I got the daily for value gap with these two potential targets of our previous candle's high or low, previous day's high or low. So now all we're simply doing from here is using our 4 and our 1 hour to figure out which direction we're going to make it to via PD arrays. So now, at this point in time, I'm done with candle signs. I'm not looking for previous candles high or low anymore. I'm looking for my PD arrays and price action. So we see we have a 4-hour bullish fair value gap. Excuse me. Just now mitigated on this candle. Pay attention to that. So ideally, we would like to see this 4-hour fair value gap send us up towards previous day's high, give us some manipulation. Let's go down to a 1 hour. Cool. We see we get this 1 hour fair value gap in. Price is wanting to hold out of that 4 hour fair value gap in, and then it finally creates a 1 hour ST. We'll go over the ST another time. But forms a 1 hour bullish fair value gap out of there. Doesn't hold on that fair value gap, but it's all good, should be fine. Most likely wanted this order block, and it did indeed. Just to clarify, that order block right here is this 6 a.m. candle. You can mark it off however you wanted to. As far as trading wise, I'm not really sure how this day would have went. Pretty non-volatile. Let's see what went on this day, Tuesday the 12th. Tuesday the 12th of March. See if we had a bank holiday or news or something. See, quite the opposite actually. We have a ton of news today. I have absolutely no idea what went on and why or how we managed to consolidate from. Okay, this is Okay, this is a lot further in the day than I thought it was. I was thinking this is like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. This is noon. Okay, so cool. Target is done for the day. And just to recap, uh, only thing we used to find our bias for today, for that day, was previous day's high and previous day's low. Sorry, AMD objectives, and then our 4-hour bullish value. What was it? So PD array, AMD, or target, or objective, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so we see this previous week's low still intact. Same thing. Still in this daily for value gap. We have almost completely filled it. Very, very deep retracement. All good. So this high, or this low, sorry, um, Monday's low now becomes our AMD target. Now that we're on Wednesday, because the goal is to on Wednesday or Thursday uh, catch that high or low of our accumulation phase. Our accumulation phase for the week is Monday. Perfect. So now same thing that we did yesterday, and I'll go ahead and mark off previous day's high as well in this situation, because we can either see what's the protocol for the day based on the weekly AMD to see Wednesday distribute. That distribution looks like either a straight move to our opposite side, or it looks like a sweep of that previous day, then a move to the opposite side. So, just like we did before, now all we gotta do is find PD arrays on the 4 or the 1 hour to help us create that argument, to help us get there. Now, it looks like we formed a 4-hour ST out of this daily fair value gap. You don't have to know what an ST is right now. And so that is now another argument that we've got for bearishness. We've got our monthly time frame telling us bearishness, potentially. If we, because that's how I want you to think on these time frames where you can't really, you don't have a clear idea what's going on. Just imagine someone had a gun to your head, like, and I had to, just based on the information that you have access to, you have to call it. You have to say what side we're gonna go to. I would have to say bearish because I don't have any bullish arguments. I don't even consider this previous month's low a bullish argument. I consider that a catalyst. That may not make sense. I mean, what's the difference between a catalyst and an argument? I just think of them as two different things. So I would say that monthly yes is up. So monthly could be telling us bearishness, potential bearishness on the monthly. We see on the weekly, previous week's low, potential bearishness on the weekly. Going on to the daily fair value gap, and our weekly AMD target, which is on this downside. So more bearishness. And so each time frame we drop down, we see more and more arguments for bearishness. And then if we go down to the 4-hour, we see another bearish right again. So this is some very good looking price action. So from here, I would want to see price go ahead, and you can mark off that previous day's low if you would like as a small checkpoint. I know that people, if you were funded, I would recommend taking 2R whenever you can. So I don't know why I'm on a 15-minute. So this could be a potentially good target for you, right? Instead of having to hold all the way down that weekly AMD, let's go ahead and fast forward. All right, and so out of that, price does decide to create a 1-hour bearish for value gap. Out of that 4-hour bearish for value gap, this is not a ST as we don't have a 1-hour for value gap in. But very well could have been an ST on the 15-minute. It lost if there was. And so now let's see what this 1-hour for value gap decides to do. We end up getting mitigation into that, just barely. All right, and so let's look at time. It's 2 p.m. So I may not see either one of these points get taken out. If I did see anything taken out, I'd expect it to be this. I wouldn't expect weekly AMD to get taken out today. I would expect it either to get taken out uh, during Asia or London early sometime when nobody's going to be able to get in on that move, or it's just going to wait for tomorrow. So let's continue to fast forward. You see price continues to drop, and right before Asia opens at 5 p.m., we go ahead and take out that previous day's low. And beautiful, we get a retracement. See if we can hold for 4 more hours, and we do end up making it to that Wednesday. Cool. That Thursday. So, not going to go to the. I'll do it. I don't want anybody to be confused. I want you to know what's going on, exactly what I'm looking at. Quick recap. This is the action we're seeing on the monthly. Cool. Go to the weekly. We want previous week's low. Cool. We go to the daily. We see we want our AMD right there. Our weekly AMD, that Monday's low. And, right, what is our Thursday protocol itself? Our Thursday has actually the most objectives out of any day of the week. Thursday is meant to continue or reverse and take out that AMD. Now, taking out the AMD is counted in that continuation or reversal, whatever direction you have to go to reach that side on Monday. But for the most part, something that I've found is you can treat Tuesday and Thursday the same, because the reversal is going to be one side of the previous day. The continuation is going to be one side of the previous day. And yes, most likely we'll go past one of those, but with a very high probability, one of those is going to get taken out, right? If we move this way but don't touch it, and if we move all the way this way and don't touch it, I don't consider that to be a true reversal or true continuation, whatever side we're trying to aim for. So, looking for previous day's high, previous day's low. Obviously, we want previous day's low because that's in the direction of our overall bias. Cool. Let's go to the 4 of the 1, try to find a fair value gap that can help us get there. Focused on these intermediate term highs. So these 4 candles, this is really all I'm looking at. This actually is all I'm looking at right now on this 4 hour to try to figure out which direction we're going to go. All right, 4 hours, not telling me anything. There's no fair value gaps. Let's go down to the 1. And we see very beautifully on the 1 hour, we have that fair value gap. Amazing. And these next examples I'll get into, I'll go through them a lot faster. And from here, it is midnight. We should expect to see price go ahead and want to continue lower for us at some point. Price decides to go ahead and disrespect that 1 hour for value gap, giving us bullishness, giving 1 hour bullish for value gap. Now, would we take this to previous day's high? I don't think so, honestly. That's still not enough for me to go ahead and take that to previous day's high. All right, we go ahead and finally get this retracement at 9 a.m. And let's see if price wants to, how price would like to react. And these are I just find our daily AMD. These are our Asia lows right there. And to make this a little clearer, perfect. All right, we are currently in New York session, indicated by Q3. Price does end up wanting to go ahead and respect that 1 hour bullish for value gap and go ahead and take previous day's high. Cool. Price still has not disobeyed, its true, get out of here. true objectives and disobeyed what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to take previous days higher, previous days low. This was our reversal. So this is what the reversal looks like. Our continuation obviously would have been our, uh, previous days low and weekly AMD. As ever since Tuesday, you've been bearish. You've been bearish uh, this whole move after there, all the way down to there. And so that is a reversal. Cool. Something else I want to go ahead and try to check out. See if we go ahead and end up taking that high of the week as well. Wouldn't want to clutter on my chart with that, but I'll go ahead and leave that up there. All right, we'll come down to this weekly now. Can we target previous week's high or previous week's low? No, not really. We're closer to previous week's low than either one of them, but still not close enough for me to say, oh, yeah, we want previous month's low. Our previous week's low, sorry. Don't know why. Yeah, don't know why it's like glitched in a weird spot, but whatever. And now we drop down to our daily. We'll go ahead and take a look at that price action. So do we have anything from a price action perspective? No, right? No fair value gaps at all. Cool. So let's take a look at our candle science. Today is our Tuesday, so we're already taking a look at candle science because the objective is the high or the low of the week. Still can't pick out anyone. I would like to see that previous day's low get taken out, as that is towards our general bias. So now we can go down to our 4 hour and see if we have any PD arrays that can help us get there. So we see this 4 hour fair value gap ends up getting created, targeting previous day's low. We could go to previous day's high, but I really want that. So let's just see what we end up getting. All right, price finally makes that retracement at 8 a.m. And we go ahead and drop from there. Beautiful. And we take previous day's low, at 1 p.m. After mitigating another 1 hour bearish value gap on the way there. So now it's like, do we want to take previous week's low today, or do we want to wait? Well, we go back to this daily. So our AMD objective for the day has been completed. We've taken out that previous day's low. Very clearly, you don't have an opportunity to make it down to that previous week's low all before our PD rate. So I could see this 1 hour fair value gap that sent us to previous week's low carry us to previous week's low. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that. All right, it's getting a little late. It's 3 p.m. I probably wouldn't want to expect a drop down to here until tomorrow. Yep. All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and go back out and go on to this next day. Come down to the weekly, we see we still could take this previous week's low. It's not that clear. I think we're a little bit closer to previous week's high than we were in the previous day. And then now we come to our daily time frame. Alright, so our daily objective for today, we see Monday accumulated, Tuesday went ahead and took out those lows. So our objective for today should be that weekly AMD. We'll worry about this previous day's high. Get this out of the way. But I want to keep an eye on those. And that is also our demo times for the day. So that's the reason we don't have to worry about that on a Tuesday or Thursday, because that is our Tuesday and our Thursday protocol from the AMD perspective, is candle science, is aiming for that previous handle's higher low. So let's see now, we can go down to the 4 hour and find any PD arrays that would help us for the 1 hour, and help us find any PD arrays that could get us to that Monday's high. Come down here, we see very clearly we have a 4 hour bullish fair value gap. Right. Now we want to see retracement to that, and ideally price continues our weekly AMD off of that. All right, price does not end up wanting to make it back down there. We create another 4-hour bullish or value gap. Kind of a relatively rare occurrence, you could say. Let me go ahead and end up canceling the creation or whatever, however you want to say, of that for value gap. It doesn't end up getting created. There's 1 hour for value gap ends up getting disrespected, but let's just slow down a second, just pump our brakes. We've got this 1 hour order block right there. In order for me to have faith that this will push price all the way up here, I need time and proximity, right? Because we have a PD, right? And if we put those together, what is that? That's 3 things. Those are all 3 things I need to have a clear bias. Price action, proximity, and time. So time is 4 p.m. I can almost guarantee I don't have to look. We probably don't have any news. It's probably like a 10% chance of us having news after 4, especially high impact news. So forget that. 2, about time. Second thing about time is because it's 4 p.m., we also know each day starts at 6 p.m. So Thursday is going to open at 6 p.m., meaning in 2 more hours, the market's going to have a completely different objective from what it has right now. Now, granted, this is a weekly AMD, and if the next day will be Thursday, so we're still well within our right to expect this bullishness to continue. But say Tuesday protocol where you're expecting previous day's high or low to get taken out, and it's 4 p.m., you're aiming for previous day's high, it's not looking like we're going to hit it. Do you really want to get caught up in, it's 6:30 and you're still trying to take out Tuesday, but it's Tuesday's high. It's not previous day's high anymore. It's just a random candle's high now. It's just a random liquidity pool. So time, proximity, right? We see it's 180.47, 18, 135. Like, so we're almost 100 pips from, or I don't know if that's 100 or 1,000 or what, but 100 pips from our target. So we're probably not going to make it. And then 3, our PD rates. We have a PD rate. It's not the strongest one in the world. It's just an order block. Not that order blocks aren't strong, but order blocks with disrespected for value gaps are significantly weaker. Yeah. And let's just to see if this target ends up playing out. Thursday opens, and I know it still says Wednesday at the bottom. It's gonna say Wednesday. But this is a Thursday open, the 6 p.m. candle. Let me see. Soon as Thursday opens, hello. All right, nice. Don't know why it's doing that, but that's what we're seeing on that Tuesday candle. Just immediate movement to our target, as well as that previous week's high. It looks like price wants to end up taking out, which it does. Go ahead and take that out. Let's go ahead and go to this monthly. What do we see on the monthly? Now is a very, very good time to make use of that candle science. Yes, we see this monthly bearish or value gap. Yes, we see this potential. Now I would be looking at this actually, this potential monthly drawn liquidity. But to mention a little bit more in the situation is this movement off of where is it? Jesus, previous month's low, right? To what this potential target of our, let's say previous month's high. Moving off of previous month's low to our potential target of previous month's high. So due to just proximity, we have reason to believe price can do that. That's all I'm going to be able to get for the most part on this higher time frame. So let's go down to our weekly. Ideally, obviously, we would like to see this weekly for value gap be formed here. We want to see price trade into it, but we're on the last candle. It's not formed yet. So Nothing is being shown to us on the weekly. Potentially that previous week's high, you could mark that off if you wanted to have a little short-term checkpoint labeled off. And if we come onto our daily now, we see two things actually. We see that our previous day's low looks like it's been taken out, 104.146, and we see it's 104.145. So literally a one tick, one pip point, whatever you want to call it, difference. But it's a difference nonetheless. So that does give us our mitigation for our daily fair value gap. So this daily fair value gap very easily could take us to this previous week's high, 100%. I don't know about that previous month's high. I never in my life, I don't think would I ever try to target something like this off of a PD array that's 2 time frames below it. All right, so that is also our AMD protocol for the day as well. If you remember, Tuesday's job is to take out one side of Monday. This is probably your textbook Tuesday setup when one side of Monday leaves behind the entry to a fair value gap, right? So this low of Monday was the entry to that daily fair value gap. That's why price was able to not only take it, but take it so quickly, only 1 hour into the tradable day. Okay. And so something we see right here is a 1 hour ST off of a daily fair value gap. Right, and this is not just any daily fair value gap, this is previous day's low as well. So this is a 1 hour ST out of that fair value gap, and it's a 1 hour ST off of that previous day's low. So you could take it looking at either one, it doesn't matter. You could have taken it looking at that PD array, you could have taken it looking at previous day's low getting swept. Now what I'll tell you is you cannot take this setup. I mean, you can take whatever you want, but you cannot take this setup off of just seeing previous day's low taken out. I'll tell you exactly why. We have this daily fair value gap. That is what we need for me to target previous day's high. For me to target anything bullish, is we need a PD array. Okay, so we took out previous day's low. That's nice, but that doesn't mean shit to me, right? I need to see a reason, something to push price the other way, because it's not going to be this. I'm telling you that right now. This, even if there was no fair value gap and price took out previous day's low, went straight to previous day's high, it wasn't because of previous day's low. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Hope it does. So, looking at this move opposite up to previous week's high, or to that same previous day's high, would be your ideal target for this setup. You could take a trade out of here. You could take a setup out of here going that way. Personally, this is really, really deep, Paul. For me to take that, I just don't have enough confirmation. And I'll show you exactly why. You know, I know people who think if this setup forms like this is the best way this setup can form, mind you. With a PD array, fair value gap in, fair value gap out, clear target on the higher time frame, we have a clear bias supporting us of this candle sign, that previous week's high. This is the best most textbook way this setup can form. And there are people out here that think every single time this forms, without the PD array, without the context, without the higher time frame, anything, just the fact that 1 hour in, 1 hour out, off of one side of the previous day, means it's 100% chance going to flip us to the other side of the chart. So let's go ahead and enter it on this. Well, what do you know? Surprise, surprise. Even with all of that context, it lost. How funny is that, right? Because it's absurd, you know, to think that price, and even if we'd have gone for 2R, let's try to get a little 2R. Smoked. Yeah, it's the dollar. Yeah, it's not a triple pair. But that same exact thing is going on the opposite direction on EU, on GU. It's like, okay, well, what do we do now? Price isn't going where we want it to. We don't. What's our action? So let's take a look at what time it is first. It's 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. Don't have a clear target, a clear weekly AMD target anymore. It was already taken out. We don't have a clear price action. Looks clear, right? But we're still waiting for price action to do its thing and for PD rates to get respected or disrespected. So there's really nothing we can do from there. What we can do is take a look at this daily AMD. So the AMD for the day. So the quickest way to see this on FX Replay is going to be for you to go ahead and make that GAN box from 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right, this is going to go ahead and delineate all of our sessions for us. So this is going to be Asia session, London, New York, PM. And our AMD target for the day would be whichever side of Asia has not been taken out yet, right? So Asia starts here. We went bearish. This is the 6 p.m. high, not taken out yet. Now let's see if we can get any action up there, because this is the only target we have left, right? So this is what you do. This is the reason I have the daily AMD in my bag, so to speak, is for when you have clear higher time frame bias, higher time frame narrative. We know what price should be doing, potentially on the monthly, right? We want to see it continue the previous month's high. Cool. On the weekly, we want to see it take out previous week's high. On the daily, we want to see it take out previous day's high. All of this stuff. We want to see this go down, and we have a daily PD rate. But we don't have any way to actually trade towards that, right? We look to see if we have another target available. The only other objective that has not been taken out for the day, that we still have an opportunity of realistically being able to take out, is that daily AMD. So let's go ahead and fast forward. It is 12 p.m. We have to wait till 1 till we can trade again. Price does not end up creating a bullish for value gap like we'd like to see, but it ends up disrespecting this 1 hour bearish for value gap, which is a very good sign as well. So let's go ahead and fast forward a little bit more. We see price rocketed higher. I don't use the 15 for my narrative, so I wouldn't have gotten on this or seen this at all, but you can almost guarantee that there's a 15-minute for value gap down here that we decide to move the time 1 p.m. So we'll start that at 1 p.m. retracement. All right, 1 p.m. retracement starts here. And so, yeah, like I said, there is a 1 hour for value gap here. Ends up getting disrespected, so we'll go ahead and use the order block. Notification. So 15-minute order block. We end up continuing to push higher out of the area. And it is 2:45. Let's see. Yep. 3 p.m. we go ahead and take up that daily AMD. Yeah. If you guys have any more questions, don't forget to drop a comment and let me know what was clear, what you want to see next. I got more videos planned. I'm going to drop the next videos I'm coming out with are AMD videos, because I didn't like having to explain that much in this video, so I'll go ahead and make a separate video on that, completely breaking down the AMD. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and make another video showing you guys how to, the most effective way to actually find your bias and do a breakdown via a sister pair or some type of index to help guide you, such as using the dollar on EU and GU, or using S&P and NAS in conjunction to find a clear bias. So we'll go over that as well. But yep, thank you guys.